Come in our revision session, we're going to look at CHRP 09, which is Human Resource Development, recently done paper, and straight to number 2, examine the principles of adults planning. So what are some of the principles of adults planning? That is what you want to have a look at. And number 1, you have adults are practical and they want to apply what they learn. So what you need to have in mind when you're training adults, you need to understand that these people will love to go and practice whatever they learn, whether it's in class or whether it's in their different areas of learning. They would wish to go and apply whatever they learn. So at the end of the day, you need to have that in mind so that to give learning that will basically help them achieve their that objective. We have principle 2, which is adults are open to modern ways of learning. Like right this moment in time, we are in a very dynamic era whereby technology is taking over in almost all areas. So adults are very much open when it comes to modern ways of learning. You can basically take them through online learning. You can use things to do with projectors and any kind of learning that can basically support the modernity. And then also we have adult learners are motivated. Why are they motivated? They want to succeed and advance in their careers. So they'll always be ready. They'll always be willing to concentrate and to pick up whatever it is that you deliver for them in their learning process. So that is also another principle. We have principle 4. Adults need to know how the information is relevant. That is also something that you need to have in mind as a trainer. These people will wish to know what I'm learning today. How relevant is it going to be? Is it going to bring any change in my profession? Is it going to bring any change in my career, or what is it? That is also another principle that we have. And then we have principle 5. Adults learners are self-directed. Nowadays, you are shifting towards learner-centric methods. Initially, most of the learning processes in schools, in institutions were teacher-centered. But where we are currently nowadays, most learners prefer to be directed. You give them a guideline, you give them some sort of guidance, and then they pick up from basically there. Because that is the only way we are going to expose these people and make them read or make them have thorough reading and revision. So they are always open to direction. It's not a must for you as a teacher, as a trainer, to come basically take them through the whole lesson. Rather, you can come up with ways, you can come up with means whereby you just direct them, you show them this is the way or this is what you need to do, and they'll pick up from there, and they can be so much okay with such learning methods. So those are the 5 principles of adult learning. The question is looking for 10 marks, so at least listing 5 and explaining them well can help you gain the 10 marks. Then 2B, we have explain the techniques that may be used to measure training effectiveness within an organization. What are some of the techniques will you use? Assume you are the boss, you are the manager, or maybe the human resource manager. Training has recently been done, whether it's off-the-job training or on-the-job training, and you want to assess whether this training program has indeed impacted positively towards the training goals and objectives or not. What are some of the techniques, or what are some of the methods will you use to see whether the training that was done was indeed effective or not? So number 1, we have survey and questionnaires. You can simply do a small survey and or come up with questionnaires, basically give them to the employees who recently got trained, and you get response from them. The response you get from them, you'll be in a position to judge or to gauge whether training was indeed effective or not. And when you talk of training being effective, what are we trying to say? You want to check whether these people have the necessary knowledge after the training or basically not. So that means you have to compare how this person used to perform before the training and how this person is performing after the training. So you can use surveys and questionnaires for you to get the information that you're looking for to see whether training was indeed effective or not. Number two, another technique that you can use is interviews or focus group discussions. And when you talk of interviews, this will include one-on-one interaction with the employees. Try to ask them questions and they give you the answers that you are looking for, so that you can be able to gauge whether the training that was given to them indeed helped them in one way or the other or not. Also, you can decide to use focus group discussions, whereby you make it a discussion, whereby everyone is free to brainstorm, everyone is free to give whatever information he or she feels is relevant pertaining the questions that you are asking. Also, the information you gather from such discussions will be able to help you have a gauge or a judgment whether the training was effective or not. We have number three, observation. You can do an observation as people are working. You can walk around, basically, because you are the manager or maybe you are the supervisor. Try to see how people are working and then do a comparison. Before, how did it happen? And now, after the training, how is it basically happening? So that also you can be able to give a comparison on your own. But alternatively, in observation, you can also use experts. There are people who are experts in this field. Once that person comes in the organization and tries to walk around, will be able to tell you exactly what is happening. But one thing you need to ensure about these experts, make sure they've been there before the training, and then after the training you invite them again in order for them to give you something that is indeed concrete or relevant. And then we have number four, another method that you can use, 360-degree feedback. And this is a kind of feedback that does not only come from one source. You'll not only interview the employee, you'll not only interview those people who have undergone training, but all the parties or all the necessary parties who are involved in the training process. You'll be able to engage with them, have one-on-one conversation with them. You can also decide to give them questionnaires or any method, so long as the interview or maybe the questions are not coming from one source, not only the employees, but any person who played part in the training process, including the supervisors, including the relevant managers in the different departments, and any other person who was part of the process. So that is what we call 360-degree feedback, that can also help you measure effectiveness of the training program. We have number five and number four. These are specific models. You are moving from the normal way of doing a survey or maybe questionnaires, but we are using some models that can help you also gauge whether training was effective or not. So the first model here we have is for Kirkpatrick, who is giving us a 4-level evaluation model, which will help you gauge whether training has been effective, whether training has indeed helped you achieve the goals you're looking forward to achieve, or basically not. And in Kirkpatrick model is giving us the first level of reaction, which focuses on the participants' immediate reaction to the training program. What is this person saying just after the training program? Are the comments positive? Are the comments negative? So that from there you can be able to know whether this person has gained something or not. And then also you look at the second level, which is learning. And the learning, you are looking at how this person, what are some of the skills, what are some of the abilities that this person was able to acquire through training. And then behavior, you're looking at the behavior, the personality, the traits the person is having after training. You compare them with before training, so that you can also have a clear picture. And then lastly, you consider the results. How was this person performing before the training? And how is this person performing after the training? So the comparison that you do using these 4 levels will also help you gauge whether the training was effective or not. So that is the model by Kirkpatrick. And then you have the second model by Phillips, whereby Phillips was looking at the issue of return on investment, ROI. And return on investment can also help you gauge whether training was effective or not. And it simply works through comparing the return on investment before the training and after the training, so that you can now have a clear picture. If there's increase in the ROI, definitely you know that training did something. If maybe the results are not pleasing, in that the performance has not improved or even it has gone down, then you know something did not happen. So all these methods can help you gauge whether training was effective or basically not effective. So that is our number 2 of the paper. Let's meet in our next question, which is number 3. Thank you.